Hey, welcome to Rich Experiences. Rich B here, and I want to talk about something. What is the FIFA, and why should you even care? Have you been hearing a lot about the FIFA lately? I know I have. Maybe you've seen it all over the news. Maybe you've seen people talking about the FIFA football, and maybe you've heard about the World Cup. And maybe, like me, you're wondering, what exactly is the FIFA and why should I even care? Well, I'll be honest with you. Until recently, I couldn't have told you what FIFA stood for. I'm not a huge soccer fan. Matter of fact, I'm not a huge sports fan at all. I don't follow teams. I don't keep up with standings. And I definitely don't consider myself a sports expert. But travel changed the way I look at football. And in the process, it helped me to understand why FIFA matters to billions of people around the world. So today, I want to share with you what I discovered. Not as a sports fan, but as a traveler. See, before I started traveling internationally, when I heard the word football, I automatically thought of American football, the NFL, the Super Bowl, touchdowns, quarterbacks. That's what football meant to me. And honestly, I assumed that was what football meant to everyone. But then I started traveling through Latin America, and something kept happening. People talked about football everywhere, in restaurants, taxis, at language exchanges, in cafes, on television, on the radio. Football seemed to be everywhere. And I tell you, at first, I thought there were just a lot more football fans than I expected. Then I realized something. They weren't talking about American football. They were talking about soccer. Or more accurately, they were talking about football. Because in much of the world, football is what we U.S. citizens call soccer. That was one of my first reminders that not everything I considered normal was universal. In fact, in many countries, if someone says football, they're talking about soccer. And if they want to talk about like the NFL, they'll often specifically say American football. For example, in Spanish-speaking countries, you'll often hear football for football and fútbol americano for American football, as we know it. I found that pretty interesting because from a global perspective, American football is actually the version that needs the extra description. Now let's talk about FIFA. One thing I learned while researching this video is that FIFA is not the World Cup. I used to kind of lump all of the words and terms together. FIFA is actually the organization. The World Cup is the event. Think of it like this. The NFL is the organization, and the Super Bowl is the event. Kind of like that. So similarly, FIFA is the international organization that governs football. In other words, soccer. The FIFA World Cup is the giant tournament that FIFA organizes. And here's something else I didn't know. FIFA isn't even an English acronym. And it's not a Spanish acronym either. It actually comes from French. Now, FIFA stands for, I'm not going to even front. I don't speak French, but it stands for that you see on your screen. I speak Spanish, but not French. Maybe later. Now, that's the organization. That organization was founded in Paris, France in 1904, the FIFA. So just think about how international this is. The modern game largely developed in England. The governing organization was founded in France. And some of the most passionate football countries are in Latin America. And today, the sport is played all over the world. Now, if that's not international, I don't know what is. Now, let's talk about why travelers should even care. And honestly, I don't think you need to care because of sports. You don't need to become some huge soccer fan or fanatic. You don't need to memorize players. You don't need to know standings. But understanding football can help you understand culture, because it changes the whole flow of the city. And understanding culture is one of the biggest reasons many of us travel in the first place. Now, one thing I've noticed while traveling is that football isn't just a game in many places. It's a part of everyday life. It's part of conversations. It's part of family gatherings. It's part of national identity. It's part of community. When an important match is happening, entire cities can seem different, more lively, more congested. Restaurants fill up. People gather around televisions. The atmosphere changes. And if you don't understand what's going on, if you don't understand what's happening, you can miss an important part of the experience, let alone be confused as hell, like I was. Like, what the hell is going on here? Is it a holiday or something? So I tell you, some of my most memorable travel moments haven't happened at famous landmarks. They happened while observing local life, watching how people interact, watching what excites them, watching what matters to them. And football is one of those things. And even if you never become a fan, understanding its significance can help you connect with the people. It gives you something to talk about. It helps you to understand local excitement. And it helps you to understand the culture around you. So even if you don't like it, you better damn sure respect it, or you might get mobbed. Travel's taught me something else too. Many things I assumed were universal were actually local. Football is a perfect example of that. Like I said, I just thought it was always this type of football when I heard the word football. It was something just ingrained in my head, maybe in yours too, which is why I made this video for you. And if you're getting value, be sure to hit that like button to subscribe, because this helps out the channel and helps Rich Experiences keep bringing you more useful travel and lifestyle content. Another example is the word American. See, growing up in the US, when I heard the word American, I just automatically thought of someone from the US. That's as far as my mind went. But after spending time in Latin America, I started seeing things from a different perspective. See, people from Canada, Mexico, Colombia, Brazil, Chile, and the US all live in the Americas. We're all American. Now, that doesn't mean one perspective is right and another is wrong. It simply means different people see the world differently. And that's one of the greatest gifts that travel could ever give you. Perspective. The ability to realize that your way isn't necessarily the only way. And sometimes it's not even the most common way. See, one thing I've realized from travel is that many things I thought were universal were simply what I happened to grow up with. And football was one of those things. I assumed football meant American football everywhere I went. But see, to the rest of the world, football largely meant soccer. And I assumed FIFA was just another sports term. And I later discovered it was the organization behind one of the biggest and greatest sporting events on earth. And I assume certain cultural perspectives were universal. But travel taught me real quick that a lot of my perspectives were just local perspectives. And that's why I think FIFA is actually worth understanding. Not because of sports, but because it represents something much bigger, much greater. It represents a shared experience that connects people across countries, languages, cultures, and continents. See, the more I travel, the more I realize that understanding what matters to other people helps me to better understand the world. And football happens to be one of the clearest examples of that. I didn't learn about football because I became a sports fan. I learned about football because I became a traveler. Hey, now I want to hear from you. If you've traveled internationally, what was one thing you discovered that wasn't nearly as universal as you thought? Hey, drop me a comment. And if you got value from this video, do me a favor, reach out and smash that like button. And be sure to subscribe because you don't want to miss a thing. And until next time, remember, make every experience a rich experience. See you in the next one.
Burn it up! Burn it up! Tonight, tonight! Burn it up! Neon lights, feel the ignite the sky, every heartbeat feels alive. Hands are up, we touch the flame. Everyone knows our name. From the streets to the stadium roar, we're unstoppable, asking for more. Feel the rhythm, feel the night, energy rise in pure delight. Raise